The idea that someone can come here and try something they've never seen before, let alone tasted, nor seen in a sauce or in an ice cream, is just something exciting for everyone, I think. Tropical Fruit World began nearly 40 years ago now. The owner and founder of the property purchased it in 1972, and it was actually a research station before that. When he got the property, he was actually looking at growing avocados and bananas, which were two new crops at that time. Since then, he's planted over 500 varieties of fruit, and people come here to do a tour and experience all of those orchards. I'm Eamon Gow, General Manager at Tropical Fruit World. I didn't necessarily set out to have a long career at Tropical Fruit World. Yeah, I grew up southwest of here in Kyogle and went to Kyogle High School. I moved to Kingscliff as a student, and I actually started a job here as a tour guide while I was studying. And it's just a fascinating place, and because I'd come from a rural property, I worked on the farm for a time, then was a duty manager, an operations manager, and then a general manager for the last 13 years. So it's just been a fascinating place to work at, and such a variety of things that we do, whether it be food manufacturing or horticulture or tourism. I think having that variety is something that I really enjoy. So Tropical Fruit World's best known as a tourist park, somewhere that you can come and have a great day out. Dehydrated dragon fruit, it's something that you really can't buy in many places in Australia at all. The Northern Rivers is fascinating geologically because you've got really rich volcanic soils, a lot of water and springs on this particular site, but many others in the Northern Rivers. And then that piece about good agricultural soil close to the coastline means you get that really interesting even temperature, so that you can grow both tropical but almost some temperate things also. So it's just an amazing place to be farming and growing things in horticulture. Sustainability is something that we see as multifaceted. It's not just putting solar panels on a shed. The idea is that we should be able to farm the way we're farming here in the same way in 100 years' time. I think the benefits of doing business in the Northern Rivers is exactly that. It is one big community. You end up knowing the owner of your trucking company or your supplier for agricultural goods or whatever it might be. And just those simple relationships make business efficient, easy, and then if there's an issue, it comes to a resolution quite easy, rather than dealing maybe perhaps with a larger corporate entity. Well, we employ 50 local people, and then at our restaurant another 18. Buy locally and use local suppliers from the Northern Rivers wherever we can. We also have many school visits here. We take on work experience kids every year. We try to give back to charities. During the COVID lockdowns, Tropical Fruit World was obviously, most of our business came from tourism. And we looked at, well, what is something that we can do very locally now that we have a domestic focus? And we thought we would start Duranbo Road Farmers Markets. We now have 19 stall holders that sort of rotate through, all local producers that make fine products in the Northern Rivers. And what's been really interesting is just the super local community who come out here every Saturday morning and hang out with the kids and buy a bit of product. And it's something that I guess didn't really happen organically prior to setting up the farmers market. So that's been great to see. For Tropical Fruit World, we've made a big focus on what are the things that we are really good at here. So we've set up our nursery to be a commercial nursery. We're focused on manufacturing goods that come from the farms. We've got a bush tucker garden here that we've always taken people through as visitors, but we're now harvesting the fruits after 25, 30 years. They're all bearing crops. So we're making value-added products like Smith's tamarind powder, Davidson plum powder. These are all things that people can either take as supplements or use on cocktails or in their food. The cliche, but do something that you love. It's very easy to get out of bed every morning and come to Tropical Fruit World. I'm seeing, amazing parts of nature, and we've got people visiting us on holidays. They're not angry clients who've had an issue. They're here to have a good time. I'm very big on lifestyle, and I think everyone in the Northern Rivers is too. And so we're all quite lucky. So I think I've given myself reasonable advice so far.